B'smachsta, what's going on, friends? We're at Babylon Talmud. We're studying together Daf Samach of Masechta Berachos today. There's some pretty cool stuff today. Tfilas Haderech comes up today. Stuff about Tfilas Shav, kind of empty prayers. Asher Yatzar, all of the morning brachas that we do. Hamapil, the blessing that we say before we go to sleep at night. All of this stuff comes up today. Called to Avad Rahman L'Tav Avad, all that the Eibishter does is for the good, comes up today. So a bunch of interesting stuff. So I'm not gonna hold you guys waiting. I'm just gonna jump right in. We're gonna start on Daf Nun Tesam Beis, 2 lines from the bottom, actually 3 lines from the bottom. So at the beginning, this first bit actually is a little bit of a brain tweezer. Brain tweezer? This first part is a little bit of a brain teaser. Also a mouth teaser, I guess. So we're going to go a little bit slowly for this first part, but then we'll shift gears. If he built a new house or he purchased new clothing, so he says the bracha of Shechianu. Amar Rafuna, Zak the holy Rafuna. Loshanu ela she'ein lo kayotze bain. Okay. So when the Mishnah says that he says Shechianu, it's only if he doesn't already have clothing, or let's say this kind of clothing, or he doesn't already have a house. But if he already has a house, right? But if he already has a house, already has clothing, then he does not need to make a new bracha. It sounds like maybe he can if he wants to, but he doesn't need to it. There's no obligation. So what this means is that if he already had, a house or whatever as like an inheritance or something, right? He didn't buy a house. He's never bought a house before, but he had one as an inheritance. And now he buys a house for the first time. Rav Huna would say that he doesn't need to make a bracha because he already has one l'maisa. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, afilu yesh lo kayotze bain tzarich levarich. But Rabbi Yochanan says no, even if he already has a house, but this is his first time buying a house, so then he would have to say the bracha of Shechianu. The implication, however, being that if he had already purchased the house in the past, and now he's making a second purchase, everyone would agree that you would not say, that there would be no chiyuv to say Shechianu. V'ikadamer, that those who say, Amar Rav Huna, Loshanu ela shelo kana v'chazar v'kana, and there are those, however, who explain the machloks between Rabbi Yochanan and Rav Huna in the following way, which is that when Rav Huna says that he doesn't need to make a bracha of Shechianu, that is only, meaning when he says that you do say Shechianu, that is only when it is his first purchase, right? Even if he already had, let's say, a house as an inheritance, but this is his first time buying a house, so he would say Shechianu. But if he has already purchased a house in the past, and now he's making a second purchase, he would not say Shechianu. Right? And Rabbi Yochanan would say no, even if he has already purchased the house in the past, and now he's making a second home purchase, he would still have a chiyuv to make a bracha of Shechianu. The implication being that both Rav Huna and Rabbi Yochanan would agree, however, that if he already had a house from an inheritance, but this is his first purchase, they would both agree that you would say Shechianu, that there would be a chiyuv to say Shechianu. Meisvei, we have a kasha, however. We have a brisa, right? This, up until now, we had a machlokes between Rav Huna and Rabbi Yochanan, both Amoraim. Now we are going to bring a brisa from the big leagues. Bana ba'is chadash ve'ein lo kayotze bo. So if he built a house and he doesn't have a house. This is his first time having a house, right? He never inherited a house. This is his first time having a house. If he bought new clothing and he had, he didn't have clothing like this in the past, he has to make a bracha of Shechianu. However, if he already has them, even just from an inheritance, even though he didn't, buy them himself, but he already has them, ein tzarich levarich, divrei Meir. So Meir says, in that case, you would not have a chiyuv to say Shechianu. Rabbi Whereas Rabbi Yehuda says that whether he already has the clothing from like an inheritance or the house from an inheritance, whether he doesn't, either way he's going to say a bracha of Shechianu. I understand according to the first way that we learned the machlokas between Rav Huna and Rabbi Yochanan, which is that Rav Huna would say that if you have, or if you already have, right, that when you say Shechianu, it's when you've mamish never had a house before, okay? And now this is your first time having a house, that's when you say Shechianu, right? But if you already have a house, and now this is your first time, right, from an inheritance, now this is your first time, building or buying a house, so then so he would say that you would not say Shechianu, okay? So you don't have a chiyuv to say Shechianu. So that's just like Rabbi Meir, who's saying that you say Shechianu only when you have never had a house before, okay? And Rabbi Yochanan, who says that even if you already had a house in the past, okay, let's say from an inheritance, but this is your first time buying a house or building a house, so then you have a chiyuv to say Shechianu, so then that is like Rabbi Yehuda in our brisa. Right, so Bishlama, Lelishna Kama, Rav Huna, Rabbi Meir. So Rav Huna is like Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yochanan is like Rabbi Yehuda. Lelishna Basra. But according to the second way to learn, the machlokes between Rav Huna and Rabbi Yehuda, which is that everyone agrees, between Rabbi Huna and Rabbi Yochanan, which is that everybody agrees that on your first purchase or your first building of a house, you have a chiyuv to say Shechianu, right? The machlokas is only when you purchase or build an additional house, do you say Shechianu, right? So Bishlam Rav Huna Rabbi Yehuda, so I understand that Rav Huna is like Rabbi Yehuda, right? Because Rav Huna is saying that you say Shechianu when you purchase your first house, even if you already have a house. So that's like Rabbi Yehuda in this brisa. Rabbi Yochanan, Damar Kaman. Rabbi Yochanan, who says that even when you have a house, when you have already own a house, when you already purchased or built a house, and now you purchase or build another house, you still have a chiyuv to say Shechianu. Well, which Tana is that going like? Rabbi Yehuda, who says Benkach uvenkach mivarach Shechianu, that is only when you had a house already from an inheritance, but this is your first time purchasing a house. You wouldn't say that if you're purchasing a second house, after you've already purchased the first house, that you would say Shechianu. So Lo Rabbi Meir, Lo Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yochanan is saying like neither Rabbi Meir nor like Rabbi Yehuda. Amalach Rabbi Yochanan would say to you, Huadin de Rabbi Yehuda, Kana v'chazer v'kana nami tzarich levarich. Rabbi Yochanan would say, no. Rabbi Yehuda would agree with me that even if you already purchased one house and now you're purchasing a second house, you would say Shechianu. Well, then why did he say that only when you have like a house from an inheritance and now you get another house, now you purchase your new house, then that's where you would say Shechianu? The reason why Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir are specifically arguing in a case where he had one from an inheritance and then he bought one, is Lodiach HaKochot Rabbi Meir, is just to show you the extremity of Rabbi Meir's opinion, which is the afilu kana v'yeshlo, that even if this is his first time buying a house, right? He already has a house from an inheritance, but it's his first time buying one, ein tzarich levarich, he wouldn't have a chiyuv to make a bracha since he already has one. And then of course Rabbi Meir would say that if he purchased a house and then he purchased another house, he wouldn't have a chiyuv to make a bracha. He wouldn't have a chiyuv to make a bracha of Shechianu. However, Rabbi Yehuda would still argue there and say that kana v'chazer v'kana, you would have a chiyuv to say Shechianu. V'liflegu b'kana v'chazer v'kana. How come they argue specifically when this is his first time purchasing a house, and to show the extremity of Rabbi Meir's opinion that even though it's his first time purchasing a house, he doesn't say Shechianu since he already has one from an inheritance? Why don't they argue about kana v'chazer v'kana and show the extremity of Rabbi Yehuda's opinion, which is that even though he has already bought a house and now he's buying another one, he still says as a chiyuv to say Shechianu according to Rabbi Yehuda. So koach de'atera adif. So the Gemara answers the reason why we prefer to have the machlokus between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda as it is, which is that they're arguing when it's his first purchase, right? And the machlokus is when he already has something from an inheritance, because koach de'atera adif, because it's a bigger chiddush for us to say that according to Rabbi Meir, he doesn't have a chiyuv to make a bracha, even though he already owns even though he already has a house from inheritance. That's more interesting to us, to tell us the koach de'atera adif, to tell us the fact that he doesn't have to make a bracha is more interesting than to say that according to Rabbi Yehuda, he still has a chiyuv to make a bracha, even when he has purchased and he's making another purchase. It's always more interesting for us to see the more lenient opinion than the more strict opinion. Okay, that was the hard part. It was also hard for me, but it's past us. Okay, so you make a blessing on the bad, me'ena tova. You make a blessing on the bad from within the good. What does that mean? So echidami, kigon dishkal badka ba'are. For example, if a dam burst onto his land, okay? So avagav ditava huihi l'didei, even though in the long term it is going to be good for him, demaska ara sirton ushvacha, that the land is going to have good, dang it, what's that word? I knew I was going to forget this word. Sirton is, oh gosh, darn it. I've been drinking this Turkish coffee because I'm at an Airbnb. Turkish coffee does not freaking work. Let's be honest. You need like 10 of them to count for like half a regular coffee. Anyways, it is, whatever. It's the stuff that you put on your field to like make it like really good and productive and stuff. Fertilizer, that's what it is, fertilizer. So even though in the future, this flooding of the dam is going to be good for your field because it's going to put all sorts of fertilizers. However, hashta mia ra'ahi. Now, however, it's bad because you're going to basically lose your yield for this entire year because your field has been flooded. So therefore, you say daina emes. Balatova v'chulein, you make a bracha on the good, even if in the long run it's going to be bad. Hey chidami, what is that? Kigon da ashkach mitzia. For example, if you found a really fancy thing, even though it's bad for him, because if the king finds out about it, he's going to want it, and then, sorry, Buster, the king wants it, you don't matter anymore. So then, hashtamiya tovahi, nonetheless, right now it's good, because the king doesn't yet know about it. So therefore you'll say, atova metiv. If his wife was pregnant, and he says, may it be the will of God that this fetus of my wife should be a boy. Harezo tefillah shav. It is a null tefillah because the fetus is already a boy or a girl. It's too late. V'lo mahane rachme. 1 second. You can't pray for the gender of the child. Masiv Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef asked the kasha. V'achar yalda bas. V'atikra shmadina. That afterwards, Leah gave birth to a daughter and she called her name Dina. Mai v'achar. What does it mean afterwards? Amar Rav, la'achar shadana Leah din ba'atzma. After Leah judged a judgment with herself, Amar, she said, Yud Beis Shvat, she made a cheshbon. She says, Yud Beis Shvatim, asidin latzes miyankiv. Right, there's going to be 12, children that come from Yaakov. Shisha yatsu mimeni. Now, 6 of them have already come from me. I've already given birth to 6 boys. Right, they're going to be 12 boys that come from Jacob. I've already given birth to 6 of them. And another 4 boys have already been born from the shvachot, from Bilhah and Zilpah. Hare Asara, that's already 10 out of the 12 have been accounted for. Imzeh Zachar, if this child that I'm going to have is going to be a 7th boy, Lo te'achosi Rachel kachas hashvachos. Well, then my sister Rachel isn't going to even have as many boys as Bilhah and Zilpah, right? They each have 2. If I give now birth to a 7th, that means that Rachel can only possibly have 1 boy, and that wouldn't be very nice if the shvachot each have 2. So miyad nefcha lebas, and immediately the baby that Leah was going to have became a girl. Shene'emar, as the pasuk says, vatikra shma Dina, and she called herself Dina. Okay, very good. I guess Dina based on this cheshbon that she made. No, so we see that you can pray for the gender of the baby, right? She was already pregnant, and she realized that if it was a boy, then Rachel would be embarrassed. So she prayed and made it a girl. So in Mazkir and Maisa Nisim, the Gemara says, sure, but we don't, when we're talking about halacha l'maisa and what do we do to what's our daily practice, we don't mention miracles like that. V'ibayis ema, or if you want to say, Maisa de Leah b'soch harbayim yom hava. Or you could say that the incident with Leah happened within the first 40 days of her pregnancy. Kedetani's we learn in a brayso, shlosha yamim v'rishon mivakeish adam rachavim shelo yasriach. That for the first 3 days that a woman is pregnant, or not even pregnant, but the first 3 days after she's with her husband, she should pray that the seed of her husband should not become putrid, i.e. that it should find an egg and fertilize it. And then from day 3 until day 40, she should pray she should pray that it should be a male, a boy, or I guess a girl. Meaning the point is that during that period, the gender has not yet been decided. That is the time to pray. From 40 days until 3 months, from 40 days until 3 months, you should pray that the baby should not be a sandal. A sandal is basically when you have twins, when you have two babies developing inside the mother. The Gemara Nida talks about that one baby can kind of squash the other one. So during that period, pray that shouldn't happen. From 3 months to 6 months, you should pray that the baby shouldn't be a stillborn. From 6 until 9, you should pray that the baby should be born peacefully. So therefore you could say that Leah, when she prayed for a girl, it was within the first 40 days when that's the time to pray for the gender. But then the Gemara says, 1 second, 40 days, shmorty days, right? It doesn't matter. Praying for a gender is never going to work. If the man somehow fertilizes the egg first, so then the baby will be a girl. If the egg somehow fertilizes the sperm or something, so then the baby will be a boy. If the woman is mazriya, if she fertilizes first, so then the baby will be a boy. So here we're talking about if both of them, if the egg and the sperm, I guess, fertilized each other at the same time, well, at that case, you could pray for the gender, and that's what happened with Leah. And I guess it could happen to anybody else if the sperm and the egg fertilized at the same time. If he was traveling and he heard shouts coming from the city and he prays, God, may it be your will that these shouts shouldn't be coming from my house, that is a tefillah shav, because they either are or aren't. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, there was a story with Hillel the elder, that he was traveling, and he heard shouts coming from the city. And he says, I know for sure that these are not coming from my house. And about Hillel, the pasuk says, Mishmuara lo yira, that from evil tidings he will not fear. Nachon libo batuach b'Hashem, because his heart is very strong. Is very strong in his belief in God. Rava says that you can understand this pasuk however you want, either from the first part to the second part, or from the second part to the first part. So you can darshan it from the beginning part, the first part, to the second part. Mishmua ra lo hira, he won't fear any evil tidings. Matam, how come? Nachon libo batuach b'Hashem, because his heart is steadfast in his belief in God. You can also darshan it from the end to the beginning. Nachon libo batuach b'Hashem, that somebody whose heart is steadfast in his belief in God, mishmua ra lo yira, that person will not fear any bad tidings. There was a certain student who was walking behind Rabbi Shmuel Bar Yossi in the shuk of Tzion. I guess it must have been the Machne Yehuda Shuk. Chazi de Kamafchid, and Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi saw that the student was scared. Amalei Chata'at, and Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi, he said, you must be a sinner. Dichsiv, as the pasuk says, Pachadu b'tzion Chataim, that when the Assyrians were coming to attack, so the sinners in Zion were scared that they were going to get killed. Amalei V'aksev Ashradam Mefachi Tamid. So then the student said to Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yosef, what about the pasuk in Mishlei that says that happy is a person who is always scared? So therefore I'm doing a good thing by being scared. So Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yosef said, no, when it says you should always be scared, you should always be scared regarding Torah, that you should be scared, concerned that you will forget what you have learned, so you should always be reviewing what you've learned. Yehuda bar Nasin, Havashakav also Basid of Amnuna. So Yehuda bar Nasin was walking behind Rabbi Hamnuna. Asnach, and Yehuda bar Nasin let out a krechts. Amarle Yisurim baya ugav l'asuya nafshe. So Rabbi Hamnuna said to Yehuda bar Nasin, look, what are you looking to bring afflictions upon yourself? Tichsiv, as the pasuk says, Kifachat pachadati baya esayeni. Eov says that all these fears that I've always feared would come to me have in fact come to me. V'asher yagorti yavoli. Again, everything that I have feared has actually come upon me. V'aksiv ashradam fachi tamid. So Yehuda bar Nasin responded to Rav Hamnuna. He said, yeah, but what about the pasuk of a person should always be scared? So Rav Hamnuna responded that is in the context of Torah. You should always be concerned that you will forget what you have learned, and therefore you should always be reviewing what you have learned. Hanichnas lichrach, somebody goes into a chrach, somebody goes into a city. So Ben Zoma says that he should pray twice, right? Before he gets in and when he gets in, before he leaves and then after he's left. Taner Rabbanan b'chnisasum ha'u omer, when he goes into the city, what does he say? Yoatzim l'fanecha Hashem Elokai shetachniseni lichrach ze l'shalom. May it be the will before you, Hashem, my God, that you bring me into this city in peace. Nichnas, once he gets into the city, Omer, Moda'ani lefanecha Hashem Elokai shechnastani lichrach ze l'shalom. When he gets into the city, he says, thank you, Hashem, for bringing me into this city in peace. Bikesh latzes, when he now wants to leave, Omer, Yiratzim lefanecha Hashem Elokai Elokei avosai shetotzeini mikrach ze l'shalom. May it be the will before you, Hashem, that you should take me out of this city in peace. Yatsa, once he has in fact left in peace, Omer moda'ani lefanecha Hashem Elokai shotzeisani mikrach ze l'shalom. Thank you, Hashem, for taking me out of this city in peace. Uchshem shotzeisani l'shalom. And just like you have taken me out of this city in peace, kach tolicheni l'shalom. Also walk me in peace, v'sismecheni l'shalom, and lean me in peace, v'tatzideni l'shalom, and bring my steps in peace, v'tatzileni mikaf kol oyev v'orev baderech, and save me from all sorts of enemies and ambushes on the way. Amar Rav Masna, Loshano ela b'chrach she'ein danin v'horgin bo. So, I believe that what this means is that, so they only say this prayer in a city that they don't, so Rashi understands this as being, only say this prayer when you're going into a city that they don't have justice and capital punishment. But if it's a city where they actually can kill people, don't pray to God that none of these bad things should happen. Just don't do any bad things. Amar Rav Ikadam, those would say Amar Rav Masna afilu b'krach shedanim v'hargim bo. No, even in a city where they do have capital punishment, and you say, okay, I better just be careful that I don't do anything silly, you should still pray, because zimnin de lo misami le'inish diyalef le'zchusa, that, I guess if something happens, maybe there won't be somebody there to help you out, so you still have your prayer that you prayed to God that you should be safe. Taner Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, anichnas leveis hamerchatz omer yiratzim lefanecha Hashem Elokai shetatzileni mizeh. So the rabbis taught that somebody goes into a bathhouse, he should say, may it be the will before you, Hashem my God, that you should save me from this, umekayotzebo, and from similar things. And nothing destructive and sinful should happen to me in the bathhouse. If something will happen to me in the bathhouse, so my death should be a kapara for all of my sins. Amar Abaye, lo lema inish achi. So Abaye says a person shouldn't say this, right? When he goes into the bathhouse, he shouldn't be saying, mentioning how bad things can happen and praying that you should be saved from them. Because he shouldn't even open his mouth to Satan. The Amar Rish Lakish, Rish Lakish says, and it's also taught in the name of Rabbi Yossi, L'olam al yiftach adam piv l'satan. A person shouldn't open his mouth to the Satan. So, he shouldn't even mention that he's going into a precarious situation. Amar Rav Yosef Maikra'ah, where do we have a pasuk to support this notion that you shouldn't open your mouth to say in Dichsiv, Kimat kistom ayinu la'amor diminu. Right, the pasuk in Yeshaya says that we were almost destroyed, and we would have been like stone that was completely destroyed. Maya hadr lehunavi. What does the very next pasuk say? Shimud v'Hashem k'tzine stom v'gomer. Listen to the word of God, the officers of Stom. So even them just mentioning Stom, sort of like inspired. That's not the right word, but sort of invoked or whatever. The next pasuk already they're calling them Stom. Kinafik my Omer, what does he say when he leaves the bathhouse peacefully? Amar Rav Acha moda'ani l'fanecha Hashem Elokai shehi tzaltani min ha'or. So Rabbi Acha says that he should say, thank you God for saving me from the fire. Because they used to have fire under the bath, right? They would basically have a bath that was heated up by big furnaces, and if you would fall into the furnace, you'd get cooked. Rabbi Abo al levei bani. Rabbi Abo Taka went to the bathhouse. Afchiz beibani mituse, and sure enough, the bath opened up on the bottom and fell through, and they were basically going to fall into a fire. A miracle happened. Kamal amuda, and he was able to find a place to stand on a beam. Sheziv meya v'chad gavre b'chad evre, and he was able to save 101 people with his arm. Kilu, he held onto one person, that person held onto the next. They made a chain reaction, and everyone got saved. Amar Hanad Rabbi Acha, and he says, okay, now I understand Rabbi Acha's prayer to thank God to be saved from the fire when you leave the bathhouse. Tana Rabbanan anichnas la'akiz dam. Somebody who goes to bloodlet. Omer yiratzum l'fanecha Hashem Elokai she'esek zeh li l'refua. That this business that I'm going to do should heal me. V'tirpa'eni, and I should be healed. And you should heal me. Kikel rofi ne'emonata, because you are the true healer. V'refuascha emes, and your healing is true. L'fishein da'arkon shel bnei adam l'rapos el shenoagu. Right? Because really, we shouldn't be going to doctors and stuff. Because really, the healing should be only from you, without doctors. But the minhag is to go to doctors, so that's why I'm going, but please save me. So Abai lolema inashachi. Abai says you shouldn't say this. The Tani dever bishma v'rapo yirapeh mikan shnitna rishus l'rofa derapos. Right, the puzzle says v'rapo yirapeh, and he will surely heal. So this teaches that permission has been given to doctors to heal. Kikai my Omer, what does he say when he's done with the bloodletting? Omer of Acha baruch hu fechinam. Blessed is God who heals for free. Okay, this is pretty interesting. Hanichnas leveis hakise. Somebody's going to the bathroom. Omer, he says to who? So Rashi says he says to the angels that are escorting him. And I imagine that this isn't necessarily anybody's too fancy. I guess everybody, has angels always escorting them. And you should say to these angels before you go to the bathroom, excuse me, iskabdu mechubadim, right? Kedoshim mishasei elyon, right? Be honored, the honorable ones who are holy and servants of the elevated. Tnu kavod leloke Yisrael, give honor to the God of Israel. Harpu mimeni ad shekanis ve'eser ritzoni. Just please go away from me for a few minutes while I go into the bathroom here and do what I need to do. V'avo alechem, and then I will return to you. Amar Abai lolema inashachi. Abai says a person shouldn't say this because dilma shavke leva azle, because maybe these angels will in fact go away, but they won't in fact come back. So elolema, rather what you should say to these angels is, Shamruni, Shamruni, guard me, Azuni, Azuni, help me, Samchuni, Samchuni, support me, Amtinuli, wait for me, until I come into this room over here, and then I will come out, because this is just what we people have to do. Kinafik Omer, and then when he comes out of the bathroom, he says, Baruch Asher Yotzer Sa'adim B'chachma, blessed is God who created man with wisdom. Uvarvo Nekavim Chalulim created all sorts of openings and all sorts of. Rashi understands chalulim as like organs, right? Livers and kidneys and stomachs and stuff like that. It is known. It is revealed and known before your holy throne. That if one of these organs opens up. No, if one of these organs kind of opens up. Right, if your stomach splits open, or if one of your holes gets closed up, it will be impossible to stand before you. So my chasim, then what bracha do you conclude with? Amar Rav Rofi Cholim. Rav says Brachat Hashem Rofi Cholim. Amar Shmuel Kashavinu Abba l'chuli Amma Katzire. Shmuel says, well, Abba, who is Rav, is basically calling everybody sick. So Ela Rofi Chobasar. Rather, Shmuel says he who heals all flesh, meaning because when you go to the bathroom, your whole body gets healed. Rav Sheshes Amar Mafli Lasos, Sheshes says he does incredible stuff. And Rashi explains that basically, if you have some kind of like a node, I'm struggling to define node. Node is like some kind of leather pouch, let's say, and you get it, and you pierce the pouch so all the contents will come out. Yet we have, our bodies which are hollow, just like the pouch is hollow, and yet nothing escapes. We have holes in our body, yet nothing comes out. Unless, of course, we want them to come out. Rav Papa says, therefore, because we have these two great choices of Rofei Chabasar and Mafli Lasos, so we'll just say both, Rofei Chabasar and Mafli Lasos. Hanichnas Lishan, this is about to be the bracha of Hamapil. Somebody goes to sleep, Al Mitaso, somebody goes to sleep on his bed. He didn't say in his bed, by the way, he said on his bed. Omer, Mishma Yisrael ad Vayam Shema. So he says from Shema until Vayam Shema. Ve'omer Baruch Hamapil Chavdeshena Alenai. Blessed is he who throws the throws of sleep on my eyes, Usnuma Alafapai, and tiredness on my eyelids. Umer Liishon Bas Ayin. I don't know what that means. Yiratzam Lefanecha Hashem Elokai. May be the will before you, Hashem my God, Shetashkiveni L'Shalom, that you put me to sleep in peace. And you give my portion in your Torah. And you make me accustomed to do mitzvahs. And don't make me accustomed to do averas. Don't bring me to sin. And not to do other kinds of sins. And not towards tests. And not towards disgrace. And the good inclination should rule over me, and the evil inclination should not rule over me. Should save me from bad encounters, and bad diseases, and I should not be startled by bad dreams and bad thoughts. My bed should be complete before you. And Rashi explains that I shouldn't have any evil offspring, and bring light to my eyes, lest I sleep a sleep that in which I die. Blessed are you, God, who gives light to the entire world in His honor. When he wakes up, Omer, he says, Elokai, Neshama shenasata b'tohara. My God, the soul that you have given me is pure. Ata yitzarta, you have created it in me. Ata nefachta bi, you have blown it into me. V'ata meshama b'kirbi, and you guarded it in me. V'ata asu ditla mimeni, and you are going to take it from me. V'lachzir bi lasulavo, and you will give it back to me in the future. Kozman shad neshama v'kirbi, as long as my soul is inside of me. Modani lefanecha Hashem Elokai, I am thankful to you, Hashem my God, Be'elokei avosai, and the God of my fathers. Ribon kol ha'olamim, master of all the worlds, Adon kol neshamos, master of all the souls. Baruch atah Hashem ha'machzeh neshamos of kol mesim, blessed are you, God, who returns souls to dead bodies. Kishama kol tanagola, when he hears the sound of the rooster, Lema baruch ashenos l'sech v'vin elaf ben yom v'ben laila, blessed are you, God, who gives to the rooster the understanding to differentiate between day and night. Ki pasach einei, when he opens his eyes, Lema baruch pokeach ivrim, says, blessed is God who makes the blind, who opens up the eyes of the blind. Ki taretz v'yasef, when he sits up straight, Lema baruch matir asurim, blessed is he who frees those who are bound. Ki lavish, Lema baruch malbish harumim, when he gets dressed, he says, blessed is he who dresses the naked, who clothes the naked. Ki zokif, when he stands up, Lema baruch zokif kfufim, right? Blessed is he who straightens out those who are hunched over. Ki nochis la'ara, Lema baruch rokar salamayim, I guess when he goes down to the ground. Okay? Then he says, blessed is he who puts the land on water. Umaske, ki maske, when he walks around, Lema baruch hamechem etzadegaver, blessed is he who prepares the steps of man. Ki sayim mesane, when he puts on his shoes, Lema baruch shasu li kol tzarki, blessed is God who does for me all of my needs. Ki asu emyane, when he puts on his belt, Lema baruch ozer yisrael b'gvura, blessed is God who girds Israel with strength, with might. Ki paras sudra, areshe, when he puts some kind of cloth on his head, Lema baruch oter yisrael b'sefara, blessed is God who crowns Israel with splendor. Ki mativ b'tzitzis, when he puts on his tzitzis, Lema baruch asher kedishanu b'mitzvosav, v'tzvanu l'sativ b'tzitzis, blessed is God who has made us holy with His mitzvahs, and He has commanded us to wrap ourselves in tzitzis. Ki manach tefillin ad dra'eh, when he puts tefillin on his arm, Lema baruch asher kedishanu b'mitzvosav, v'tzvanu l'aniach tefillin, said, blessed is God who has commanded us to put on tefillin. Areshe lema baruch asher kitshanu mitzvos v'tzvonu al mitzvos tefillin. Right? So on his arm he says laniach tefillin, on his rosh he says al mitzvos tefillin. Ki mashi yadeh, when he washes his hands, lema baruch asher kitshanu mitzvos v'tzvonu al netilas yadayim. Ki mashi ape, when he washes his face, lema baruch hamavir chevle shena me'enai snum al afapai. This is basically like the opposite bracha of like hamapil, right? So Hashem, right? The other one was like, right, hamapil chevle shena aleina snum al afapai. This is hamavir shena, right? Hamavir chevle shena me'enai snum al afapai. He who removes sleep from my eyes and my eyelids. V'yiratzon lefanecha, Hashem Elokai, may I be the will before you, Hashem my God, shetagileni b'sarasecha, you should accustom me to your Torah, v'dabkeni b'mitzvosecha, and you should have me cling to your mitzvahs. V'altavieni lo lidei chet, do not bring me to sin, lo lidei avon, and not bring me to other kinds of sins, v'lo lidei nisayon, and not to tests, v'lo lidei bizayon, and not to disgrace. V'choves itzri l'shtai b'lach, and my inclination should serve you, v'rachakeni mi'adam ra, and distance me from bad people, u'mechavra, and from bad friends, v'abkeni b'yetzer tov, and you should cling me to the good inclination of a chaver tov, and a good friend, ba'olamcha, in your world, usneni ayom v'choyom, and give me this day and every day, l'chenu l'chesed l'rachamim, to favor kindness and mercy, be'einecha, in your eyes, uve'enei choro ayin, and everybody who sees me, v'signaleni chasadim tovim, and give me good kindness, baruch atah Hashem, blessed are you God, gomel chasadim tovim la'am Yisrael, who does great kindness for his nation Israel. Okay. Zok the Gemara. Chayav Adam levarach chulei. A person needs to make a bracha on the bad, just like on the good. So my chayav levarach al ra'ak shem shem varach al tova. What does it mean that he blesses on the bad, just like he blesses on the good? Ilem shem shem varach al tova tova meitiv kach varach al ra'ak tova meitiv. If you're going to say, well, he blesses for good things, atov ametiv. So maybe we're going to say that just like on, right, so he blesses atov ametiv on the bad, just like he blesses atov ametiv on the good. But in our Mishnah we said, al besoros tovos omer baruch atov ametiv. For good tidings, he says the bracha of atov ametiv. Al besoros raos omer baruch deine emes. But on bad tidings, he says baruch deine emes, not atov ametiv. So Amarava, lo nitzucha ela lekabolinu b'simcha. No, what it means is that, yes, it's true that on good things you say Atov HaMeitiv, and on bad things you say Baruch Deine Emes, but on both of them you should receive the outcome with simcha, with happiness. Amar v'acham mishum Rabbi Levi ma'kra'ah, says Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Levi, where's a pasuk that we see that for both good and bad you should accept it with happiness? So Chesed and Mishpat, Ashira, pasuk says in Tehillim that both kindness and judgment I will sing. L'cha Hashem azmer, to you God I will praise. Right, so whether it's chesed, whether it's mishpat, David HaMelech says that he will praise God. Im chesed ashira, v'im mishpat ashira. Whether it's kindness, whether it's judgment, I will sing. Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani Amar mihacha b'Hashem ha'al davar be'Elokim ha'al davar. Whether it's Hashem, which is Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is mercy, I will praise the thing. Be'Elokim ha'al davar. Whether it's Elokim, which is right judgment, right, as it says ad Elokim yavod v'ashneim, right, Elohim also means judges, right? So whether it's in judgment, I will also praise the thing. B'Hashem ha'al davar zomida tova, be'Elokim ha'al davar zomida puranos. So whether it's a good thing, whether it's a punishment, I will still praise God. Rabbi Tanchum amar me'acha zak behelik, or Rabbi Tanchum from here quotes the Shuos Esa u'v'shem Hashem ekra, that when I'm lifting up the cup of salvation, I call out to God. Tzar v'yago nemtza u'v'shem Hashem ekra, and also when I find difficult situations, I still call out to God. V'Rabbanan Amr Mehacha Hashem Nasam Hashem Lakach Yishem Hashem Mevarach, that Eov says that Hashem has given, but Hashem has also taken what He has given. Yishem Hashem Mevarach, and may the name of God be blessed. Amr Rav Huna Zak Tehelik Rav Huna Amr Rav, in the name of Rav Mishum Rabbi Meir V'chein Tan Mishmei Rabbi Akiva. The Olam Yehei Adam. A person should always be accustomed to say that everything that the Eibishter does is for the good. Like the incident of Rabbi Akiva, that he was traveling. He got to a certain city, and he wanted somewhere to go to sleep, to stay for the night. And they refused to give him a place to stay. I wonder why. So he said, okay, whatever. What can I do? Whatever the Eibishter does is for the good. So he went and he slept in a field outside the city. And with him he had a rooster, he had a donkey, and he had a flame. Also zika kabi l'shraga. A wind came and blew out the flame. Also shunra achle l'tarnagola. A cat came and ate the rooster. Also arye achle l'chamra. Came a bigger cat known as a lion and ate the donkey. Amar kol davar achman l'tav. He says, so Rabbi Kiva still said, okay, what can I do? Whatever the Eibishter does is for the good. Bei Belilia, that night, Asa Gayasa, Shav Yelamata, the army came and captured the city and took hostage the city. Amrlu, and he said to them, who's them? I guess the students, Lav Amrlu, did I not say to you, Kol Masha Osa Kadosh Baruch Hu Hakol Tova, that whatever the Eibishter does is for the good, right? If he had the rooster or the donkey making noise, so they would have heard him. If they saw the flame, they would have heard him. But because all these things were out of the picture, he was able to slip out peacefully. Alright, friends. Well, that was Daf Samich of Masechta Berachos. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's some really cool stuff over there, right? Tfilas Haderech, Asher Yotzar, Hamapil, Elokai Neshama, all the Berachos HaShachar, Kol Davar Achman L'Tav Avad. Super cool stuff. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.